Hello, my dear friend. Welcome to VUS Learning English podcast. My name is Anna, and I am so happy you are here with me today. Today, we are going to talk about something beautiful, something amazing. We will talk about your brain, and we will talk about how listening to English can change it. Yes, you heard that right. Listening to a podcast in English is not just listening. It is a special tool. A tool that can help your brain grow stronger. It can help your brain build a new home for the English language. Before we start, if you enjoy our time together, please think about giving this a like, or you can subscribe to our channel. It is a small click for you, but it helps our family grow. It helps us reach more English learners, more friends just like you. Thank you. I would also love to know where you are listening from. Are you in Brazil or Japan? Maybe you are in Somalia or Myanmar or Vietnam. Please tell me in the comments. It makes me so happy to see our family from all over the world. Okay. Are you ready? Let's begin. Many people want to get better at English, and they think they need to learn more things. They think they need more information. Maybe this sounds like you. You find long lists of vocabulary words. You try to remember them. One word, then the next word, and the next. You spend hours trying to push these words into your head. You hope that some of them will stay there. Or maybe you buy grammar books, big, heavy books with many rules. You read the rules. You try to understand them. You think if you just study hard enough, English will just click. It will all make sense. This is a very common way to learn. We do this in school. We are told to study and memorize. But I want to tell you a secret. Learning a language does not really work that way. It is not about how many words you can force into your brain. Think about a child, a little baby. Does a baby study vocabulary lists? No. Does a baby read grammar books? Of course not. A baby just listens. And that is the secret. Your brain is designed to learn by listening. And when we understand how our brains really work, you will see why listening to a podcast every day is so powerful, so very, very effective. When you build a language in your brain, it is less about how much information you put in. It is more about what stays in. It is about what your brain does with that information. So, what if I told you something amazing? What if I told you that your daily English podcast is not just for fun? It is not just a way to pass the time on the bus. What if I told you it is a training program for your brain? A very smart, high-level training program. And what if I told you that this program physically changes your brain? It changes the shape and structure of your mind. One episode at a time. This is not magic. This is science. It is about building a new language center inside your own head. A special place just for English. And the reason this works so well is because it uses the natural way your brain is built to learn. You are not fighting your brain. You are working with it. And here's another secret. You do not need to be a language genius. You do not need a special talent. In fact, that feeling of struggle, that feeling when you don't understand everything, that is not a sign that you are failing. It is the sound of your brain working. It is the sound of your brain getting stronger. The process is already happening inside you. So if you ever felt like you were just passively listening, If you ever felt like you were not doing enough, get ready to change your mind. Because you are not just listening to a podcast, you are actively rebuilding your brain. You are a builder, and your mind is what you are building. So, how is this possible? How can listening to my voice right now be changing your brain? To understand this, we need to talk about a beautiful idea. It is the heart of all human learning. It is the idea that your brain can change. Think about that for a moment. Your brain is not fixed. It's not like a stone. It is soft. It is alive, and it can change its shape and make new connections. It changes based on your experiences, based on what you do every day. Let's use an idea that is easy to understand. Think about your brain like a muscle. Imagine you go to the gym for the first time. You want to make your arm muscles stronger. You pick up a weight. It feels heavy. It is a little uncomfortable. You lift it a few times. Your muscle feels tired. It might even feel a little sore the next day. That feeling of struggle, of discomfort, is important. It is a signal. It tells your body, this was hard. We need to get stronger. So your body repairs the muscle, and it makes it a little bit stronger than before. The struggle comes before the growth. The struggle is necessary for the growth. Learning a language by listening is just like this. It is a workout for your brain. When you listen to English, you are giving your brain a way to lift. That feeling of confusion, when your brain is working hard to understand a sentence, that is the same as a muscle feeling tired. It is your brain under tension. It is a signal to your brain. It tells your brain, pay attention. This is important. It says, we need to change. We need to make this easier for next time. So your brain starts to adapt. It starts to grow stronger. Now, let's use another story, an even more powerful story. Imagine your brain is a big green forest, a beautiful dense forest. For your native language, the language you speak every day, there are big, wide roads in this forest. They are like superhighways. They are smooth and paved. There are bright lights. Information can travel very, very fast. When you speak or listen in your own language, you do not even think about it. It is easy. The roads are already there. But for English, it is different. In the English part of your forest, there are no roads. There are no paths. It is just a thick forest, full of trees and bushes and leaves. Everything is new. Now, imagine the first time you listen to an English podcast. You are standing at the edge of this forest. You decide to walk in. It is very difficult. You have to push branches out of your way. You step on fallen leaves. It is slow. You feel a little lost. You listen to the podcast and you only catch one word here and maybe one word there. Most of it sounds like noise, like leaves rustling in the wind. That is okay. You have taken the first step into the forest. You have made a tiny, crude path. Now, what happens if you go back the next day? You decide to listen to another podcast. You walk on that same little path again. What do you notice? It is a little bit easier this time. The branches you broke yesterday are still broken. The leaves you stepped on are still flat. The path is a little clearer. You listen to the podcast, and this time you catch a few more words. You might even understand a short phrase. You are not lost anymore. You are starting to recognize this place. Now, what if you do this every single day? Every day you put on your headphones. You walk that same path in your mind's forest. What happens after 1 week? That tiny footpath is now a clear trail. You can walk a little faster. You can see more clearly. The bushes are pushed back. You can listen to the podcast and understand whole sentences now. What happens after 1 month? That trail is now a dirt road. It is wide and easy to walk on. You can almost run on it. Listening feels much more comfortable. You can follow the main idea of the conversation. It feels familiar. And if you keep going for many months, your brain does something amazing. It paves that road. It turns it into a superhighway, just like the one for your native language. It adds bright lights. This is not just a nice story. This is what is really physically happening inside your head. Scientists have a long name for this. They call it experience-dependent structural neuroplasticity. But we can just call it learning from experience. Every time you listen to English, you are sending little workers into your brain's forest. They are clearing the path. They are making the connections for English stronger. Studies have shown this. Real science has shown that learning a language can physically change your brain. It can make parts of your brain thicker. It can make the connections between brain cells stronger and faster. The more you use your English network, the stronger and more efficient it becomes. This change happens in important parts of your brain. The part that processes sound and the part that helps you understand meaning. Scientists have even found that the brains of people who speak two languages can look different. They can be physically different from the brains of people who speak only one language. For example, a part of the brain that hears sound can be bigger. This is a direct physical result of the brain changing and adapting. Your brain is building itself. And here is the most important, most hopeful part of all. For a long, long time, people believed this kind of big brain change could only happen in children. They thought that when you become an adult, your brain is fixed. But that idea is old. It is outdated. We now know it is not true. Modern science has shown us that the adult brain can change much more than we ever thought. It is wonderfully plastic. It is ready to learn. Studies have shown these physical brain changes in learners of all ages. In children, yes, but also in young adults and in older adults too. Sometimes these changes can be seen after only a short time of learning. You are never too old to build a new highway in your brain. You are never too old to start. Your brain is ready. So we know the brain can change. We know it can build new roads. But why are podcasts such a special tool for this? Why is listening so effective? There are many ways to learn English, but podcasts are special. They create a rich, wonderful experience that your brain loves. Let's talk about exactly why. First, we build a language from sound. Think about it. Before we learn to read words on a page, we learn to hear sounds in the air. A baby is born. And for thousands of hours, that baby is surrounded by sound. The sound of its mother's voice, the sound of its father's voice, the sounds of the world. The baby does not understand the words, not at first, but it is learning. Its brain is absorbing everything. Podcasts use this same ancient natural way of learning. You are bathing your brain in a stream of sound. You hear the rhythm of English, the music of the language, the way the voice goes up and down, the way some words are stressed and some are soft. Your brain's hearing center starts to change. It begins to adapt. Studies show that when we learn to connect sounds with meanings, the connections in our brain get stronger. Your brain learns how to handle this new information. It learns to do it better and faster. It starts to build little boxes in your mind. A box for the esh sound in ship, and a different box for the e sound in sheep. Your brain is giving a piece of itself to English. It is creating a special space just for these new sounds. This is the foundation. This is the solid ground you build your house on. Think about grammar apps or vocabulary lists. They often give you language in small, separate pieces. It is like someone giving you a pile of bricks. But they do not give you a plan to build the house. You have the pieces, but you do not know how they fit together. Podcasts give you the plan, they give you the blueprint. They show you how all the bricks, the words, the grammar, the sounds, how they all fit together in a natural way, in a real conversation. And that is exactly what your brain needs to learn. Now for the second reason. Podcasts help you focus. They are the perfect medicine for our busy, distracted minds. We live in a world of scrolling. We look at our phones, we scroll. A short video here, a picture there, a quick message. Our attention is broken into tiny, tiny pieces. A podcast is the opposite. It asks for your attention. It asks you to stay for a while. To follow a story, you need to listen. You need to hold information in your mind. You need to connect what you are hearing now to what you heard a few minutes ago. This is a very powerful kind of training for your focus. It is like taking your attention to the gym. But now you might be thinking, but Anna, I get distracted. My mind wanders when I listen. I start thinking about my dinner or my work. Does this mean I have failed? No, my friend, not at all. The science tells us something wonderful is happening. This is where we talk about accidental learning. Because podcasts are audio only. You can listen while you do other things. You can listen while you are washing the dishes, or folding laundry, or driving your car. During these moments, even if you are not focused on every single word, your amazing brain is still working in the background. Your brain is a machine that looks for patterns. It is always working, even when you are not paying attention. It is still absorbing the rhythm of the language. It is noticing which words are used a lot. It is noticing the structure of common sentences. So that feeling of zoning out is not a failure. It is your brain learning in two ways at once. When you are focused, you get the benefit of focus training. And when your mind drifts away, you get the benefit of passive learning. It is a win-win situation. You cannot lose. Now, let's talk about the third reason. Podcasts turn on your mind's eye. They help you build a better memory. When you watch a movie or a video, the pictures are made for you. You see the beautiful mountains. You see the character's face. Your brain can relax and just watch. But with audio, it is different. Audio forces your brain to be an active creator. When I describe something to you, like our forest with the superhighways, Your brain has to do the work. It has to build the forest from my words. You create the trees in your mind. You create the path. You create the light. This act of creating a picture in your mind is a powerful workout. It is the good kind of mental effort, the kind that leads to deeper learning and much, much stronger memories. This process makes the memory parts of your brain stronger. There is a part of your brain called the hippocampus. It is very important for memory. Listening to stories helps this part of your brain. Studies have shown that listening to podcasts can improve your memory because it asks you to actively create these worlds in your mind. When you learn a new word from a podcast, that word is not alone. It is connected to a story. It is connected to an emotion. It is connected to my voice. It is connected to the mental picture you created. The word is part of a rich, beautiful web of meaning. It has deep roots. This is why you can remember a word you heard in a memorable story for years, but you forget a word from a list after one day. Okay. Reason number 4, the power of repetition, but repetition done the right way. There's a famous saying in brain science, neurons that fire together, wire together. It means the parts of your brain that work at the same time become connected. They build a team. Repetition is the mother of all skill. To learn anything, you must repeat it. But the best kind of repetition is not just drilling a flashcard 100 times. That can be boring. The best repetition has variety. It has context. And the secret is a very simple strategy, re-listening, listening to the same episode again. Let's imagine it. The first time you listen to a podcast episode. This is for the main idea, just the gist. Your brain is working very hard. It is in that forest trying to make the first path. You will miss a lot of words. You will not understand everything, and that is perfectly okay. Now, you wait a day or two, and you listen to the same episode a second time. What happens now? Your brain knows this place. It is familiar with the path. It is not in survival mode anymore. And suddenly, you will hear things you completely missed the first time. Words will pop out. Phrases will make sense. You think, wow, I didn't hear that before. The path in your forest is getting wider. Now, a few days later, you listen a third time. This is for making everything strong. The language patterns feel familiar now, like a song you know. You can relax and focus on other things. You can notice the small details of pronunciation. You can notice the rhythm, the musicality. The neural path in your brain is becoming strong and fast. It is becoming a highway. This method is so powerful. It changes your feeling from anxiety. The feeling of, I must understand everything right now, to a patient, calm process of, I am just absorbing. You are giving your brain the repeated experience it needs to learn deeply. And now our final point, a practical strategy that makes all the others even better. The synergy of moving your body and listening. A fascinating study was done. Scientists looked at people listening to podcasts. Some people sat still and listened. Other people listened while they were doing chores or walking. The results were amazing. The people who were moving, their engagement was 18% higher. They felt the emotions of the story 40% more strongly. And their memory of what they heard was 22% better. Why? Why does moving your body help your brain? When you are physically active, more blood flows to your brain. It delivers more oxygen and more nutrients. Your brain works better. Also, movement can help your brain release a special protein. This protein helps support the growth of new brain cells. It is like a fertilizer for your brain. This means the time you spend walking your dog, or cleaning your house, or going for a gentle walk in the park. This can become your best, most effective learning time. You are turning simple tasks into powerful brain-building opportunities. Now, I know what you might be thinking. I know the doubts that can creep into your mind. You might be listening to all of this and thinking, this sounds nice, but I know these doubts because I have heard them from so many learners. They are the walls that stop us from moving forward. So let's look at them together. Let's face them with kindness and understanding. The first doubt, the biggest one. But I don't understand anything. It just sounds like noise. This is the most common feeling, the most common frustration. And it feels like failure. It feels like you are doing something wrong. But I want you to change this feeling completely. I want you to reframe it. That mental struggle, that confusion, is not a sign of failure. It is the sound of your brain working. It is the sound of your brain building new pathways. It is the feeling of growth. Remember our gym story? When the weight feels heavy, that is when the muscle gets the signal to grow. The burn you feel is a good sign. It means you are creating change. It is the same with listening. If you only listen to English, you already understand perfectly. Your brain has no reason to change. It has no reason to grow. It can just relax. The noise you hear is the raw material. It is the wood and stone your brain needs to build the house. Your brain's job is to slowly, over time, turn that noise into meaning. So the next time you listen and you feel confused, the next time it sounds like noise, I want you to smile. And I want you to tell yourself, good, it's working. Your job is not to force yourself to understand. Your job is simply to show up. Your job is to provide the input, to listen. Understanding is the beautiful gift your brain gives you for your consistency. The second doubt. Okay, but how do I know it's actually working? I don't feel any different. This is another big one. We want to see progress every day. We want to feel like we are getting better and better. But language learning is not a straight line up. It does not work like that. Imagine you are walking up a big mountain, but it is a special mountain. It has long, flat parts. These are called plateaus. You can walk for days on a flat part, and your view does not change much. You might feel like you are not making progress, but you are still walking. You are still moving forward. And then suddenly the path goes up again. You take a few steps up and your view changes completely. You can see for miles. You have a sudden leap forward. Language learning is like this. There are long plateaus, followed by sudden, surprising jumps in your ability. If you look for big breakthroughs every single day, you will feel disappointed. So, we need to change how we measure our progress. We need a new way to see our success. Instead of asking, how much did I understand today? I want you to ask, was I consistent today? Did you listen for 20 minutes today? Yes? Then that is a win. That is a success. That is the only thing that matters, especially at the beginning. Celebrate that win. The real signs of progress are small and quiet. They are subtle. You have to learn to notice them. It's that moment when you are listening to an English song and you suddenly understand a line of lyrics without trying. It's when you are watching a movie and you recognize a word you learned from a podcast. It's when the sound of English starts to feel less foreign, less strange, and more like a familiar, comforting song. These are the little echoes, the small signs, the massive, wonderful changes happening deep inside your brain. You have to learn to notice these small joys, and when you do, celebrate them. And now for the third doubt. Am I just wasting my time if I listen in the background while I do other things? This is a very good question, and the answer is a happy, resounding no. It is absolutely not a waste of time. It is a wonderful, efficient strategy. Remember what we called it? Passive learning, accidental learning. Think again about how a child learns. For the first 1 or 2 years of their life, they are surrounded by language all day long. They are playing with toys. They are eating their food. They are crawling on the floor. And all this time, language is flowing around them. They are absorbing the patterns. They are learning the sounds. They are feeling the rhythm. Long before they can think about grammar rules, it all happens below the level of conscious, hard effort. You are doing the same thing. When a podcast is playing in the background, your brain is like a quiet accountant. It is keeping track of everything. It is noticing how often words appear. It is learning the natural flow of sentences. And it is doing all of this for you without you needing to try hard. This does not mean you should only listen in the background. Focused listening is also very important, but you can let go of the guilt. You can let go of the feeling that you are not trying hard enough when you are multitasking. You are learning. Your brain is working. So let us change our main goal. The primary goal of your listening practice should not be to understand the podcast. The primary goal is simply to listen to the podcast. Understanding is the result. Understanding is the prize that comes later. It is the inevitable, wonderful side effect of your consistency. So let's bring all of these beautiful ideas together. We live in a world that is always trying to break our attention into small pieces. And yet we have found a simple, quiet act of rebellion. Putting in your headphones and pressing play. This simple daily act of listening to an English podcast is a real, practical use of the amazing science of our brains. With every single episode you listen to, you are physically changing your brain. You are remodeling it. You are making connections stronger in the parts of your brain that hear and understand. You are training your ability to focus. You are making parts of your brain denser and healthier. You are, in a very real and literal way, building a new mind. And the skills you are building: better focus, improved memory, a more flexible mind. These skills will help you in every other part of your life. It is one of the best things you can do for the long-term health of your brain. You started this journey just to learn some English, but you have found something much more powerful. You have found a way to upgrade your own mind. If you have felt this change, if you have had one of those small, surprising moments where a word just made sense or a sentence just clicked. I would love for you to share it in the comments below. What was the first sign for you that something was changing? Your story can inspire so many other learners. And if you want more ideas on how to learn smarter, not harder, by using the science of how your brain actually works, make sure you subscribe to the channel and press the notification bell so you don't miss our next time together. Before we go, remember this one thing. You are not just learning a language. You are taking back your attention. You are building a more focused, a more patient, and a more powerful mind. One episode at a time. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. It was a gift to be with you. Keep listening. Keep being patient with yourself. And keep building those beautiful new roads in your mind. See you next time, my friend.